influential person on the left and the right?
Oh man, I feel like it's so like bubbled off. Like it depends on what part of the internet you're on. Like you could argue that I'm pretty influential in terms of like political left debating people, but depending on where you go, people have never heard of me or even like Hassan or anybody. So I don't know, broadly speaking, who is the most influential on the left. I feel like we just don't have much really big alternative media on the left right now.
It's really not.
Like on the right, I would say Ben Shapiro is probably the largest and most influential.
Or Tucker.
Tucker definitely was when he was on Fox News. I feel like he's lost a lot of influence after.
I don't know on.
Here's the thing. I thought that too, Destiny, but 2024, the election happened and it proved me wrong. I'm not afraid to admit it. Destiny comes in hot. You can see he's starting with Tucker Carlson in this interview, but man, he doesn't stick to that lane for too long. Watch this. Destiny flips the script. He'll take a sharp turn and he's going to call out the far left. He doesn't hold back either, straight up labeling them crazy. Let's make sure that we align on that's what he really does. It's Destiny being Destiny. He keeps it bold, unfiltered, breaking down his points, but Tucker Carlson was just the launch pad for an epic rant. Let's take a look at how Destiny dives into this. He's going to get into what he calls the extreme left here.
On Twitter or on X now, the amount of views he's getting seems to be substantial. And we could argue is that less than Fox, but
he's doing pretty good views right now.
What does he do? Do you know like what his last video was? Yeah, look it up.
They're usually in the millions.
Oh, not usually. They vary.
Depends on
These two young men that Destiny are with this is Jake Selby and Graham Stephan, and they are very good. You know, Graham he used to do a political, I'm sure he still does it. I just haven't watched it in a while, a financial show. And this is more talking about anything else in politics. I like the setup there with the lights hanging.
Quite heavily.
I guess on the left, the Young Turks.
But that's not even like, if you look at their views.
Yeah.
I mean, Tucker Carlson, one day ago, 260, one day, 415, 2 days, 440.
Okay, so on Fox, he's getting
here's
more.
a million.
Tucker's definitely popular, but I would say 6 months ago, Tucker was the most popular, maybe media person in the world. Definitely the most popular.
He was the most consumed. Yeah, they had the most live concurrent viewers on Fox News. Fox, I think, at 5 with Tucker.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he was the most popular in the world. So he's still big. I'm not saying he's like nobody now, but I'm saying he took a dramatic fall off a cliff when he got kicked off of Fox. And you got to be careful with the Twitter.
I don't think that's true. I don't think that's true anymore. When you look at corporate media, it didn't have the impact. So I said the same thing. I did commentary on it. I'm like, Tucker got 80 million views on just one interview, maybe his first show or maybe this other one that blew up. And I was like, I don't think that I would rather get 1 million on mainstream. I was absolutely wrong. Destiny is wrong. And this is what do they call this podcast? It's the Iced Coffee Hour podcast with Graham Stephan and Jake Selby. Let's get back to it.
Interviews, because I think you realize, right? It's like if you watch a video for 6 seconds, it comes to view, and it's not an accurate way of determining how popular a person is. Yeah.
So why don't you feel like the left has more representation, like the right does?
Man, I don't know. The center left is like just not a fun place to be. Nobody really likes you. You have to fight. Conservatives will hate you just as much whether you're center left or a communist. And if you're center left, everybody online is going to hate you because the only people online are the far left, and those guys are fucking insane.
So why is nobody big on the far left? Why don't we have larger
the far left are
people there?
losers. They're crazy, and it's a super minority opinion. These guys are the most detached. They're all like millionaire socialist tanky fucks who like cheer when like Israeli babies are killed. Like they're actually fucking insane. They're unhinged.
So where's the majority on the left?
Who does
like
that?
In the real world, it's probably like center left, but like
Center
those
left.
people aren't online. Like you don't find like black people between the ages of like 45 and 65 like aren't on Twitter, or like center left, like cosmopolitan liberals and shit aren't really on like Twitter anymore.
So why are
it's like young, white, affluent, very, very far left, in college kids. These are the people that dominate social media, I think, these days.
So what's the difference between that and people on the far right? Like, why are those people on the internet? I'm trying to figure out like what the commonalities
People on the
are.
far right, I feel like aren't super on the internet, at least now.
Sometimes
Yeah, but why do they have the personalities that garner so many views?
It's different and it's weird, but like I would say that like for the far left, and this is a very, very, very small minority of all Democrats, like less than like 3 or 4%, if that. It's very, very, very small minority. But on the right, I would argue that like for radical right, I feel like you're really mad because I think that anybody that supports Donald Trump, I think is fucking crazy. And that's like 85% of Republicans right now. So they're way more visible. You see a lot more of them, but because a lot of them are literally ready to follow Trump off a cliff, they just are louder on the internet. Yeah. There is no like
give the comment a like, comment, subscribe on this. We're just chilling out listening to it. It's good discussion. I don't know where they are. They need to be more specific on who they're talking about. When I talk about far left, I don't like the term, but if you're going to say far left, I don't know who are you referring to? I mean, I'm not talking AOC. AOC is a fake left. I mean, the first people that come to Revolutionary Blackout Network, who I really like, if that's the far left, I like the far left. Hassan Piker, maybe they're talking about, I don't like him as much, but I don't know who he's really talking about with the far left or not cheering for babies being unlived. Nobody's doing that. That's his side. He's in the center left. Basically, he's the one that's not going to challenge Ben Shapiro. They had a debate, no challenge. Let's get back to the clip.
I guess I'm complaining about being a center-left Democrat. Truly, being a center-right Republican is probably a more difficult place to inhabit, I would imagine.
I would say it's difficult for us too, because we like to really have equal representation on the podcast, and it's difficult for us to find people on the left to have on because there aren't that many, and the people that we do ask, it's very difficult to get them to say yes.
They've denied us a lot.
Yeah.
Yes. And then some people, like, we ended up getting them on, but it took months of scheduling. Whereas the people on the right, they're kind of just like, let's do it.
Yeah, that is a problem. That is a problem. I will agree with that on the left. That is a problem. I don't understand why they're not more, I don't know who they reached out to. And it looks like they like to do in person, which in person is better. But I agree with that. The right is ready to engage I don't even know how you define the right, but how we loosely define these things. The right is they're more eager. The right and classic liberals are more eager to have conversations, but the left, it seems like they're not as much. But I saw Jimmy Dore, he talks to everybody, but people on the left call him kind of right. I don't even know. But Anna Kasparian and them, they've been on Glenn Beck, but I don't call them far left even. They're right. It's hard to find the left. It's hard to get them on. Tim Pool has his culture war. It's hard for him to get leftists on there. Let's get back to Destiny, Iced Coffee Hour, Graham Stephen, Jake Shelby. I believe it's Jake Shelby. Jack Shelby is what it is. Let's get back to the clip.
What is that? Do you have any idea?
I think right now, when the left is kind of more in charge of like overall the media and they don't feel the pressure to be platformed because they are platformed, they probably don't want to jump on to controversial or debate platforms as much because there's more to lose, and their own audiences will attack them quite a bit for it. Like, oh, you're supporting them. Why are you there? They platformed this guy, or why are you in this show? You know, Myron from Fresh and Fit was just there. Like, these guys are white now.
No, that doesn't work. No, because this Iced Coffee Hour, they're not seen as any type of radical. You know, if a left person went on this show, nobody would criticize them. So that doesn't fly.
These guys are red pill, like blah, blah, blah. So it's harder because people on the left will hardcore audit you for going on places that they don't approve or talking to people that they don't like.
They will do that, but I think it's more, it's more if you're going on like Fresh and Fit or something like that. Then you would see more problems there, but not if you do that. Let me know what you think of that one. That's a good little clip to talk about how somebody who's pretty neutral, those guys on Iced Coffee Hour, they're very neutral. They're more about their money. They don't really care about taking a right or left, and I wouldn't even call them center. They're more like normie. But I think here's the takeaway. I think the leftists need to get out there more. I don't know what's happening. They're kind of frozen out, but there's opportunities if they can. I don't know who's going to pay for transportation. There's logistics, but I want to see the left out there more. Let me know what you think.
The next clip is ready below. Welcome to After Show Carnage.